Hey guys, Bella here. Now I know I typically don't discuss video game leaks, but this supposed leak is absolutely massive. Not in terms of how much was leaked, but because of what game was leaked. So you know about Joy Mech Fight, right? That criminally underrated fighting game Nintendo made back in 1993? If you don't, I don't blame you because it's a fairly obscure game, but you should play it if you haven't already. Well, on March 20th, I got DM'd on Discord by a user who I'll keep anonymous. They texted me, "I heard you like Joy Mech Fight," and as soon as I replied yes, they sent me a video. And oh my god, it's absolutely insane. It's a video of a game, and if it's legit, we're finally getting another Joy Mech Fight game after almost 32 years! Now, about the contents of the video. Despite the quality being super low, I'm gonna try my best to analyze it. Firstly, the person recording the video appears to be holding a Joy-Con. They seem to be only holding one, so I'm guessing they're in multiplayer mode. This would also explain why the opponent isn't attacking, as the player isn't fighting against a computer that would automatically do so. Speaking of which, the opponent appears to be Gel, judging from what I can barely make out on the second health bar, and the fact that we can't see the opponent, which is likely Gel using his invisibility move. As for who the other character is, likely who the person recording is playing as, I'm pretty confident it's Sukapon. Everything from what I can make out from the mech's design to the move being used all lead me to believe that it's Sukapon. Now you could make the argument that the character shown is actually Scapacon, but I highly doubt it. This is due to the lack of markings present on the hands and feet, and the face looking different from what I can see, so I'm way more confident it's Sukapon rather than Scapacon. Moving on to the stage, I'm 99.9% sure this is the Forest Preserve stage. It looks very similar despite the low quality of the video, and I don't see how it could be any other stage. Now lastly are the health bars. And I mean, yeah, they're health bars. Interestingly enough, however, there are no hearts next to the character names like in the first game. I'm pretty sure the person recording was in the middle of a battle with someone and they simply got each other down to their last stocks. Now, I'm not quite sure why they would stop mid-battle to record the video that was sent, and I'm pretty confused about that. But hey, it could have been for any reason, I guess. This concludes the analysis. However, we still have more info. After the anonymous user sent me the video, I asked for more info, because despite how excited I wasn't entirely convinced about the leak being legitimate. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that the anonymous user was fully willing to provide more information. So here's a rundown of all the info that was provided. Firstly, the user told me that the new JMF game is going to be a remastered version of the first game rather than a sequel. This is apparently due to the fact that the first game remained a Japan exclusive until the game was released on international versions of Nintendo Switch Online in 2023, which was a whopping 30 years after the game was initially released. The user then adds, quote, "Since the game is dropping in both Japan and the rest of the world, consider the international release to be a proper introduction to the series for those outside of Japan," unquote. And I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Continuing with the information of the new game being a remaster, the user claims that the remaster is going to be very faithful to the original with minimal changes added, likely due to the remaster being a reintroduction to JMF. Now, whether or not the remaster being extremely faithful is a good or bad thing is entirely up to you. Although in my opinion, I think it'll likely be a pretty good thing considering how good the original game is. As for the title of the game, the anonymous user told me that the game will be called Joy Mech Fight Reprogrammed in Japan, while the game will just be called Joy Mech Fight for the rest of the world. Kinda reminds me of how Japan got 3 Pokemon Stadium games while the rest of the world got 2, and Japan's Stadium 2 in Gold and Silver is Stadium 1 and 2 for the rest of the world. Now, despite the user claiming that the remaster will have minimal changes, they state there is one noteworthy change. There will supposedly be more cutscenes in the form of dialogue between characters in story mode. I'm not entirely sure how it will be implemented though. Will it be dialogue between two mechs before a fight starts? Will there be more cutscenes similar to the cutscenes from the previous game? The anonymous user didn't really elaborate. And that's where the information regarding the supposed new game for Joy Mech Fight ends. I tried to ask the user if they had any more gameplay they could share, but they never got back. And with all that said, that concludes today's video. I really hope you enjoy- Oh wait, hold on, I got a text. I know I've frozen the video. Oh, you have to be kidding me. If it wasn't obvious already, this is an April Fool's video. And this is the most effort I've ever put into an April Fool's video too, because I wanted to make up for not making an April Fool's video last year. Also, massive thanks to Team Mirko22 for helping out with this video. If it weren't for her, this video wouldn't have been possible. And with all that said, this concludes the video for real this time. I hope you enjoyed, credits are in the description as always, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye! Also, seriously, go play Joy Mech Fight if you haven't already, it's a great game.